Welcome to Galactic Secret. I'm Tom, and today I will guide you through one of the galaxy's greatest mysteries. But before we begin, make sure you've subscribed to the channel. It's completely free and ensures you won't miss any of our fascinating stories. The vast Galactic Council chamber fell into silence as the delegation from Earth concluded their presentation. At the center of the enormous circular hall, a small group of human representatives stood firm, an unusual composure for a species facing the Council for the first time. Ambassador ZX, from the Kisan species, adjusted his elaborate ceremonial attire. His sharp eyes scanned the humans before him, searching for any signs of anxiety or uncertainty. But there were none. These humans seemed completely unshaken. Perched on a hovering seat above the ground, Counselor Kakar of the Tari species raised an eyebrow. His cold voice pierced the stillness. They questioned humanity's faster-than-light technology. And why, despite achieving such a remarkable breakthrough, humans had never established a permanent colony beyond their home planet. The woman leading the human delegation did not blink. Her name was Yuria Varan, and there was something in her unwavering gaze that made Ambassador ZX unconsciously sit up straighter. The Council continued to press, asking why humanity had no permanent civilian colonies, not even on their own moon. Yuria, however, answered every inquiry with calm composure. A wave of murmurs spread across the chamber. Suspicion flickered openly between the council members as they exchanged glances. Dex, a senior counselor with the gray, weathered features characteristic of the Tari, leaned forward, his tone filled with challenge. Yuria remained unfazed. She tilted her head slightly, emphasizing that humanity was not here seeking recognition. They had come simply to establish diplomatic relations. ZX narrowed his eyes, observing the woman with newfound curiosity. Most species sought desperately to prove their worth before the Council, but these humans, they seemed indifferent to the Council's condescension. Kikar gave a thin, mocking smile, hinting that perhaps humanity simply lacked the capability to expand beyond their planet. Yuria, still composed and confident, invited the Council to send a diplomatic mission to Earth to evaluate humanity's abilities firsthand. ZX raised an eyebrow. Her boldness intrigued him. Breaking the stunned silence of his colleagues, he agreed to the proposal. We look forward to welcoming your delegation. Though I must warn you, Earth may not entirely meet your expectations. ZX smirked as he rose from his hovering seat. I will personally lead the diplomatic mission. His gaze met Yuria's, and for the first time during the meeting, he felt something unusual. These humans, perhaps there was more to them than met the eye. The first encounter? When the galactic delegation witnessed Earth's shocking truth. 3 months later, a massive starship quietly entered Earth's orbit. It was the Zerathion, the flagship of the Kisan species, regarded as one of the most advanced survey vessels of the Galactic Council. In the main observation chamber, Ambassador ZX stood by the panoramic window, his golden eyes reflecting the deep blue of Earth. Beside him was Kakar, the Tari counselor, a man who had never hidden his skepticism toward humanity's capabilities. A beautiful planet, ZX murmured. But I wonder, does that appearance conceal something? Kikar scoffed. Just an immature species. I still don't understand why you bother with them. Before Zex could respond, the door behind them slid open. Yuria Veron entered, as calm as ever, though her sharp eyes swiftly scanned every detail of the room. Welcome to Earth, she said in a steady tone. The Council will find what it seeks, though perhaps not in the way you expect. ZX's lips curved slightly, an expression hovering between curiosity and caution. We will judge for ourselves. Beneath Earth's surface, Site 17, a top-secret underground facility unknown to most of humanity. As the massive steel doors slid open, the galactic delegation halted, their eyes widening with rare astonishment. Before them stretched a vast chamber where colossal machines hummed in synchronized precision. Pulses of emerald energy flickered from quantum reactors, technology far beyond anything possessed by any council member civilization. ZX turned to Yuria, his voice low and measured. What is this? A small part of our independent evolution program, Yuria replied. We chose not to expand into space, because we have explored possibilities beyond what you've ever imagined. Kekar stepped forward, his cold gaze locking onto a massive structure under assembly. Is this a quantum teleportation gate? Yuria smiled. Correct, but not just for spatial transport. We've gone further. ZX remained silent. His seasoned political instincts told him that humanity was far from the fragile species they had appeared to be before the Council. Perhaps their disinterest in territorial expansion was the perfect facade. This technology, how long have you been developing it? For the past 30 years. That simple answer left both ZX and Kekar stunned. No civilization could achieve such a breakthrough in such a short time. Unless you received help, Kekar said suspiciously. Yuria shook her head, her gaze turning cold. No one helped us. We control our own destiny. ZX took a deep breath. For the first time, he realized that the Council might have severely underestimated humanity. And if what he saw today was only the surface, what else lay hidden beneath? Yuria stepped closer, her voice sharpening. You came here to evaluate us, but I believe it's time the Council asked the real question. Are you capable of understanding us? 3 days later, aboard the Zerathion, the atmosphere was heavier than ever. Ambassador ZX sat in the conference room, the glow from the central display casting shadows across his thoughtful face. In front of him was a stream of data from Site 17, but one file held his attention. Project Nexus. This technology shouldn't exist, Kekar said, his usual sarcasm replaced by a rare seriousness. If they perfect the Nexus Gate, humanity could travel anywhere, anytime, even across physical boundaries we barely comprehend. ZX didn't respond immediately. He fully understood the implications. This wasn't just a potential threat to the Galactic Council. It was an unspoken declaration. Humanity was no longer a second-tier civilization. We need to understand their true motives, ZX said slowly. If they intend to challenge the balance of power, the Council will not remain idle. Deep beneath Earth's surface, Site 17, Yuria Veron entered the central control chamber. On the massive screen before her was a 3D projection of the Nexus Gate, a massive cylindrical structure slowly rotating, radiating brilliant blue energy streams. What's the status? She asked. A young engineer, Dr. Ethan Voss, looked up, his eyes gleaming with excitement. We've stabilized the spatial field. If the next test succeeds, we won't just achieve quantum leaps between stars, we may access other realities. Yuria remained silent. She knew the possibilities, but also the unprecedented risks. If the Council discovered the true objective of Project Nexus, they would not stand by and watch. Activate the test gate, she ordered. In high orbit, the sensors aboard the Zerathion flashed an urgent alarm. Kekar stepped toward the control panel, his eyes narrowing as he detected unusual energy fluctuations from Earth's surface. They're activating something, he growled. We cannot allow them to cross this threshold. ZX remained composed, but his voice grew colder. Convene an emergency council session. If humanity is hiding a secret that could disrupt the order of the galaxy, then it's time for us to act. Inside the Nexus Gate, streams of energy began to converge. Space twisted and warped around the gate, as if the very fabric of reality was being torn apart. Suddenly, a blinding surge of light erupted, and in the blink of an eye, the gate opened. Ethan gasped. We did it. But before Yuria could respond, an alarm blared across the chamber. We have uninvited guests, she murmured. On the screen, 5 massive warships appeared, all bearing the insignia of the Galactic Council, speeding directly toward Earth. The inevitable confrontation had begun. Next, can humanity protect the secrets of the Nexus Project from the Galactic Council's intervention? And what truly lies beyond the gate? Command Ship Zerathion Earth's orbit. ZX stood before the observation window, his sharp gaze fixed on the blue planet below. Beneath the swirling clouds lay Site 17, where the Nexus Gate's energy signature pulsed stronger than ever. Kekar entered the room, a datapad clutched tightly in his hand. They've exceeded the safety threshold, he reported urgently. If they keep the gate open any longer, it could trigger an inter-reality shift, something even the Council cannot control. ZX nodded slowly, his expression unreadable. Deploy the strike team. We'll stop them at any cost. Inside Site 17. The light from the Nexus Gate flared, forming a massive vortex of energy suspended in midair. Yuria Veron and Dr. Ethan Voss worked feverishly against the clock. "The gate is stabilizing," Ethan shouted. "If we hold it for 5 more minutes, we'll establish a fixed corridor." Yuria's gaze locked onto the screen displaying a strange reality beyond the gate. Unfamiliar galaxies twisted into unnatural, impossible shapes where light itself seemed to bend and coil. "Is that the void?" she whispered. "We've reached the edge of the universe." Before she could issue the next command, a high-priority alert blared through the chamber. "We've been detected." On the radar, 5 Galactic Council warships were closing in fast. Special Operations Warship, led by Captain Soren. Inside the command deck, Captain Soren, leader of the Galactic Council's Special Operations Force, prepared for the assault. "The mission is clear," he said firmly. "Neutralize the Nexus Gate. If they resist, we will use maximum force." A young officer hesitated. "But sir, if we destroy the gate while it's unstable, it could trigger a space-time rupture." Soren narrowed his eyes. "Then we'd better not fail." Back at site, Yuria clenched her fists. She understood the stakes. If the Council breached their defenses, they wouldn't just shut the gate down, they would erase decades of her team's work. "Activate the magnetic shield," she ordered. Ethan turned toward her, concern etched across his face. "If we do that, we'll lose all external communications." Yuria gave a cold smile. "If they want to steal humanity's future, they'll have to get through me first." Earth's orbit, Operation Capture begins. From the Zerathion, dozens of assault ships plunged into the atmosphere, cutting through the dense cloud layers. Their objective was singular: neutralize the Nexus Gate. ZX observed the unfolding operation from the tactical display, his expression unreadable. He murmured to himself, "Humans, you're playing a dangerously bold game." At the Nexus Gate Control Center, the light emanating from the gate grew blinding. Ethan shouted over the rising hum of energy, "I'm detecting something on the other side, an unknown signal." Yuria turned sharply. On the screen appeared a bizarre structure, a city suspended in the void, radiating energy far beyond anything the Council's civilizations had ever encountered. "That's not our world," she whispered. Ethan's face paled. "If the gate fully stabilizes, whatever is on the other side could spill into our reality." Yuria knew there was only one choice. Increase the energy flow. We'll uncover the truth before the Council destroys everything. What awaits on the other side of the gate? Will the Council succeed in stopping humanity, or is a far greater cosmic mystery about to be revealed? Next chapter: the fateful encounter between humanity and the Galactic Council, and the terrifying secret beyond the Nexus Gate. Site 17, Nexus Gate Control Center. The blue light flickered violently as swirling energy surged from the spatial gate. Warning signals blared across the control room, but Yuria's gaze remained locked on the image emerging from the other side. "The frequency is stabilizing," Ethan shouted, sweat beading on his forehead. "We can keep the gate open for 3 more minutes, but the energy pressure is exceeding safe limits." Yuria stared at the floating city on the other side, towering spires shimmering in the void, encircled by strange, radiant rings. This was no barren or desolate realm. It was a civilization beyond imagination. "If we can download the data from this gate, humanity will enter a new era," she murmured, her voice filled with determination. But at that moment, an alert flashed across the screen. "Alert! Unauthorized entry from Earth's orbit." "The Council is here," Ethan warned. "They're deploying special forces." Yuria's jaw tightened. "Activate the automated defense systems. We won't let them stop us." Warship Special Operations Squadron. Captain Soren stood rigid in the command deck as the assault ships cut through Earth's dense atmosphere. On the display before him, a 3-dimensional map marked the precise location of the Nexus Gate, a brilliant point of light at the heart of Site 17. "All units, assume position," Soren commanded. "We will neutralize the gate and apprehend the research team." A cold voice crackled through the comms, "And if they resist?" Soren didn't hesitate. "Open fire." Inside Site 17, Yuria urgently activated the magnetic shield. From the control towers, automated plasma cannons emerged, locking onto the sky ablaze with the engines of the Council's approaching ships. "They won't hold back," Ethan said anxiously. "If they destroy the gate while it's unstable, It could trigger a spatial collapse. Without turning, Uria's voice was cold and firm. Then we won't let them touch it. As the first assault ships landed, the thunderous roar of plasma fire filled the air. Dust erupted as Council soldiers advanced, their jet-powered armor glowing and heavy weapons poised. A violent explosion rocked the entire complex. "They've breached the outer defenses," Ethan shouted. Uria glanced at the countdown timer. 0142 left until full gate stabilization. "We just need to hold them off a little longer." Council Command Room, Earth's orbit. ZX stood motionless, his piercing gaze fixed on the battle unfolding below. A worried aide approached him. "If the gate opens fully, sir, we have no idea what might come through." ZX gave a cold, mirthless smile, "Which is why we must close it immediately." He turned to another officer. "Initiate Project Zero." The aide's face paled. "But sir, that will." ZX cut him off with icy finality. "Do it. Now." Inside the Nexus gate, a mysterious signal. As the swirling energy stabilized, Ethan detected a strange signal, neither from the Council nor from Earth. "Uria, something is transmitting through the gate." His voice trembled. "And it's not human." Uria rushed to the console, where an eerie string of symbols was decoding itself. "It's a message." Glowing letters slowly appeared. "We are watching. You are not the first." Ethan's voice dropped to a whisper, his face pale. "Something, or someone, has crossed this gate before us." At that moment, a massive explosion shook the facility. The Council's forces had breached the main level. Uria turned sharply. "No more retreat. Activate the reserve power. We're opening the gate completely." Will Uria's decision unlock a gateway to a civilization beyond time, or unleash a force beyond control? Will the Council stop humanity's ambitions, or will they confront a terrifying truth from the other side? Coming next, Project Zero, the Galactic Council's buried secret. One thing is certain: the truth behind Project Zero will change the fate of the entire galaxy. If you love thrilling space adventures and cosmic mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the next chapter. Like this video if you're excited, and share it with your friends to uncover the mystery together. And tell us in the comments, what do you think awaits beyond the Nexus Gate? I'm Tom. See you in the next episode of Galactic Secret.